Another way to determine the equilibrium level of income is by constructing a table using the given consumption function, which is C is equal to 50 plus 0.8y. The equation suggests that consumption is dependent on y, or income. So we can assume or assign any level of income and determine the level of consumption from the equation given. So consider that the level of income, or y, is reflected in the table. Can we solve the level of consumption, or C? Okay, so with the given equation, if y is 0, what is C? So if we substitute 0 here sa y, then 0.8 times 0 is 0. So what is left is 50. So C is 50. So dito, C is 50. So we will just substitute 0 to y in the consumption equation, then do the math. Another is, if y is 100, then what is C? Is it 130? Paano nakuha si 130? So, balik tayo sa consumption function. We simply substitute 100 doon sa y. So, 0.8y magiging 0.8 times 100, it's 80, plus 50, so 50 plus 80, so it is 130. Okay, so that's how we calculate consumption spending in a table. I hope you follow the discussion. So if we will calculate C at all levels of y, this is now the result. Here we can see that 250 is the equilibrium level of income, because at that income level, C is also equal to 250, which is the aggregate demand of the one sector economy. We can also solve for the saving using its formula. So again, S is equal to Y minus C. So using the first and second column, we can now easily solve for the third column. So at 0 level of income, consumption is 50. So saving is negative 50. So 0 minus 50 is negative 50. At 100 level of income also, the level of consumption is 130. So here, consumption is greater than income. So we will expect a negative saving. Basically, using the formula for saving, then we can easily solve for the value of S. At the equilibrium level of income, saving is 0, because at that level of income, consumption is also 250. So all of the household's income is used for consumption expenditure, and that is also called the break-even point. The next two columns are the columns for MPC and MPS. So we can also solve for MPC and MPS using the consumption function. As I have said a while ago, that 0.8 is the value of MPC, and it follows that the value of MPS is 0.2, because MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. Another way to calculate for MPC is by using its formula. MPC is equal to change in C over change in Y. The MPC at 100 level of income is 0.8. So, paano naging 0.8? As income increases from 0 to 100, consumption also increases from 50 to 130. So, the change in Y here is equal to, it's 100 minus 0. So, 100 minus 0 is 100. So, the change in Y is 100, and the change in C is 130 minus 50 is 80. So, 80 over 100, so that is 0.8. How about the MPC, or the change in C, if income increases from 100 to 150? So consumption also increases from 130 to 170. So the change in Y is 50. The change in C is 40. So 40 over 50 is also equal to 0.8. So the same story kay MPS. So as income increases from 0 to 100, the saving also increases from negative 50 to negative 30. So the change in saving here is negative 30 minus negative 50. So how much? It will become negative 30 plus 50. So negative 30 plus 50 is 20. So the change in S here is 20. The change in Y is 100. So 20 over 100. So that is 0.2. Okay, and so on. So you can calculate actually the rest of the table. Next is the columns for APC and APS. The value in column 2 and column 1 is used to solve for APC. So by doing the math, we can easily calculate APC and APS. For example, at 100 level of income, consumption is 130. So 130 divided by 100, that is 1.3. And if the level of income is 600, the consumption spending is 530. So dividing 530 and 600, so the result is 0.88. Okay, the same for APS. If the level of income is 400, saving is 30. So 30 over 400, that is 0.075. And if income is equal to 1,200, saving is 190. And the APS is 0.16. Notice that adding the APC and APS also, it gives the value of 1, just like MPC and MPS. Now we will discuss the model of the economy with only two sectors, the households and business firms. So this time, we will add another sector, which is the business firms. So what will happen to the equilibrium level of income if the economy has two sectors? Here we assume that G and NX are 0. Thus, the aggregate demand equation is equal to AD is equal to C plus I. We further assume that investment level is fixed. So it is also called as autonomous expenditure of the economy. For example, suppose we have the same equation for consumption function, that is C is equal to 50 plus 0.8y, and investment is fixed at 20. So what is the equilibrium level of income? And how much goes for savings? So we will now solve the equilibrium level of income in this type of economy. So the same process, but here we will add another sector, which is investment. So let Y is equal to C plus I. Then we substitute the two variables. So Y is equal to 50 plus 0.8y plus 20. Then combine similar terms and transfer y to the left. So this will become y minus 0.8y is equal to 70. Then factor out y and divide both sides by 0.2. So the equilibrium level of income in the two-sector economy is 350. Then how much goes for savings? So using the formula of the saving function, so we have S is equal to y minus C. So S is equal to y minus the quantity of 50 plus 0.8y. So we will do distribution and do the rest of the math, and we come up with S is equal to 20. So saving is equal to 20. Graphically, we can illustrate the equilibrium level of income of the two sectors. At YE, Y is equal to aggregate demand and also equal to C. YE is the level of income in the one sector economy. And YE2 is the equilibrium level of income in a two-sector economy. So notice that the equilibrium level of income is greater in the economy with two sectors, and it is depicted by an upward shifting of the aggregate demand line. What is the relationship between savings and investment? At line AD1, the upper diagram, the equilibrium level happens at YE, and that is the equilibrium in a one-sector economy. At line AD2, S or saving increases, and the new equilibrium happens at YE2, where S intersects with I in the lower diagram. This suggests that at the equilibrium, S is equal to I. It is shown by the intersection of the S line and the I line. So at the lower diagram, the investment line, investment spending is horizontal because again we assume that it is fixed. And at the equilibrium level, or at YE2, here the saving line crosses the I line or investment line. It is true because a while ago we were able to solve the value of saving, which is 20. And it is also the amount of the investment, right? So again, in a two-sector model, saving is equal to investment at the equilibrium.